Hey, my divas! Welcome, welcome! It is day 5 of my DIY Diva Christmas countdown. Let me go ahead and get my system set up. I'm a little bit later than I had wanted to be. I thought it would be cute to go live on day 5 at 5. But, as always, I'm running late. You know, isn't that the diva way? So, we've got a lot to get through today. So, I'm going to get my system set up. I'm going to close my glue really quick so I don't knock it over while I'm prepping everything else. I had wanted to get things a little bit more prepped for this. But I had some complications on this explosion box. But I figured it out. And then I lost my templates for the smaller box, but that's okay because I found a way to work around that. So yeah, let me go ahead and let the Diva chain know I'm live. And then even later, because my husband came home a little bit late today, so I was on dog dinner duty. But it all worked out perfect, actually. Right when I was about to come in, he came home, so I was able to feed him, and I had already fed the dog. So everybody should be golden, and hopefully nothing will fall on me. I'm trying to move stuff out of the way. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, well, stuff isn't falling on me, but I'm crashing into things. So how's that for a start? I am trying to find stuff to put in to my explosion box. And if you guys could only see how crazy my craft room is right now, you guys would understand why this is becoming a little bit of a problem. Oh, and there goes the lid, but that's okay. Okay. So, let me move this over and that over. Okay. I think I'm almost officially ready to start showing you guys what I'm doing here. Okay, let's see if anybody's on yet. Hey, Martine, welcome, welcome. If you're on and watching, go ahead and say hi. So these are 2 versions of an explosion box. This is one that you guys are probably most familiar with seeing me create. And this size will hold Ghirardelli chocolates. Now, I don't have Ghirardelli chocolates in here at the moment, but I do have Ghirardelli chocolates, and I will show you how beautifully these fill up. So I'm only going to put 2 in these just for the sake of filling this up. Just grabbing, this one something matches nicely, but it is what it is. So I put 2 in there. You can actually squish up to 4 in there. Let me show you. It actually depends on if they're filled or if they're just, see, that's 4. You can really get. I kind of like it with 3 because I feel like that's the best fit. And who doesn't want 12 Ghirardellis? I probably could eat that one sometime during this live. So, but you can put anything in it really, but super cute. Now, I will tell you, this version right here with the ridge is made with dies from another company. I don't even know if the company still makes them, but I think they do. I'll have to try to remember and find the dies. I die cut a whole bunch of these last year and had a bunch left over. This was Christmas. This is what I made everybody for Christmas. Well, the older kids for Christmas last year for my family. It does take some time, but I'm going to show you how to do this using just plain cardstock. Now, you will need 12 by 12 paper. Now, I am noticing my camera is slightly out of focus, so I'm going to make sure I'm staying in screen. Now, this one is a larger version. Now, I designed this one inspired by this one when my daughter was graduating from high school. And I wanted to make her one so I could put like I got her some jewelry. So, again, it's the same exact concept, but this one has much bigger drawers. That sounds funny to say. but they're super pretty. Now the version I'm going to show you is similar to this one, but the one I'm going to show you actually is going to have 5 panels. So it'll have the 4 drawers, and it'll actually have an additional writing panel. And this one you could fill with, I don't know, I'm just going to fill it with peppermints because it's the only other candy I have right now, other than chicken nuggets. Hershey nuggets. I wonder if Hershey nuggets would actually fit in here. Let's see if Hershey nuggets would fit in here. Oh, now it's open. Gross. Garbage. Okay. Let me see if Hershey nuggets will even fit in here. I know I'm talking about. I probably should just keep teaching you guys how to make things, but I want to give people some time to pop on. I'm just going to grab these ones because this is the first bag that was close to me. I've never tried to see if Hershey nuggets would fit in here. But really, this one is a deep enough box that you could put in a little bit of squishy paper, or we could probably get a whole bunch of Hershey nuggets in here. Oh, maybe. But you can really just fill this with different candies. But what I did is I filled it with a little bit of, not tissue paper, the scrunchy paper. You guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah, they don't fit flat, but you can fit a lot of candy in here. Just saying, when it comes to candy out, because I really don't. That one's a gift for somebody for Christmas, which is what inspired me to design all these. So this is going to be another project in the 3D gifty kind of projects that I'm going to be doing for my next class. And it's going to be an online only class, so access will only be, as is stated, online. I'll go ahead and put that over there and hope that does not fall. So what we're going to do is we're going to make the smaller version of this. And so on the class, you'll get the dimensions for this one. And then you'll also get dimensions for the smaller one that we're going to make right now. Now, the smaller one we're going to make right now, I'll give you the dimensions as I'm reading them off. I won't be giving the dimensions for this one. If you want the dimensions for the larger one, you'll need to purchase the online class. Mostly because I don't have those notes with me right now. Okay, so what I'm going to need is I'm going to need a piece of 12 by 12 paper to start the base with. And again, we're going to do one similar to this one, but slightly different because the one I'm going to create will have a writing panel. So I'm going to work with this regular white 12 by 12. We're going to be using a lot of 12 by 12. A lot of my 3D projects require 12 by 12. So just note, you're going to want to invest in that. Hi, Chris. Hey, Sharon. Shredded paper. Yeah, is there another name for it, though? Oh, both Sharons. Hi, Sharon Vickery and Sharon Woost. Okay, so I'm going to be reading off the measurements as I cut them. This first piece needs to be 11 by 5. So I'm going to make my first cut at 5. Right about there. And I'm going to turn this around because it's easier for me to read it when it's closer to me. And I'm eating candy already. If you guys didn't see me open up that peppermint. Yum. And the next one is going to be at 11. Again, if you take my online class, once I get that registration link up, it should be up by the end of the week. Then you'll have the PDF cut prep list for this. Now for this piece, I'm going to score it on the 11 1/4 side. And grab my score tool. So this is 11 1/4 by 5. I'm going to finish eating my peppermint before I choke on it. I'm going to score 2 1/4. Too late, I'm choking on peppermint. 4 1/2. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to suck on a harder candy so that I don't keep choking. Because of course I didn't bring water in with me. The next one's going to be at 6 3/4. And the last one is going to be at 9. So again, 11 1/4 by 5. Scored at 2 1/4, 4 1/2, 6 3/4, and 9. This is going to be the base of my box. Now, if you want it without the additional writing panel, then go ahead and just eliminate that last section. But I really like it for this one with all four because I get that writing panel. And why do I feel like I made a boo-boo here? Hold on. These should all be the same size. Did I cut this wrong? Oh my goodness. I cut this at 11 and not at 11 1/4. So this one is wrong. You know how I could tell? When I closed it, one side was shorter. So hold that thought. This is what happens when the Diva tries to talk and choke at the same time. That's okay. We're going to cut that piece one more time. 5. I've got lots of paper, so it's going to be okay. And that needed to be 11 1/4, not 11 1/4. It really makes a difference, guys. There we go. Let's try that again. And 2 1/4, 4 1/2, 6 3/4, and 9. Now this box, I will tell you, takes a lot of paper. Mostly for the drawers. Oh, goodness gracious. There we go. So now we have the frame, and there we go. Now it is nice and square, exactly how I want it to be. Okay, now we're going to do the drawers. We need 4 drawers. They're going to be 4 1/8 by 4 1/8. So I'm going to grab another piece of white paper. I'm just going to leave my scoreboard at the bottom because I can. 4, and yes, it does need to be an 1/8. Just bear with me on that. 4 1/8. Now my lid is going to be 4 3/8, and because I can get 2 drawers out of here, I'm going to cut this one a little bit bigger, 4 1 3/8, and I'll cut it down for that last drawer. Okay, so I'm going to do my lid. So 4 3/8, because I only need one of those. 4 3/8. Now this is my lid. And because if I don't mark it, I will forget, I am in the center of this going to put, with a pencil, lid. Because it is only slightly larger than the drawers. Trust me on this. We're going to cover it with DSP. Nobody's going to know. Okay, now I'm going to hit this one again and go to 4 1/8. And make my first drawer 4 1/8. 4 1/8. There's one drawer. 4 1/8. 2 drawers. 4 1/8. 3 drawers, and I still need, I need another piece of paper. And I'm going to be wasting a lot of paper today. That's okay. I love scraps. I will use those scraps later. Had I not messed up that first box, I would have used that other piece from that first box to finish it all up. You can do this out of 2 pieces. 4 1/8. Throwing that off to the side. And 4 1/8. So now I have my base, my 4 drawers, and my lid. We will be pulling out that cutter to do the DSP, but right now we're going to score our pieces. They are all going to get scored at 1 inch on all 4 sides. Now, I really highly suggest doing this on a scoreboard, not on a cutting tool, because then your scores could possibly not be exactly the same on all 4 sides. And you really want them to be exactly the same on all 4 sides. And this is another reason why I marked the lid earlier, so that I could easily distinguish which one was the lid. Now, I've done these very girly-ish. You can definitely do this. I've done this for my vet in, like, animal prints. I've done this for my, some masculine doctors and some of the more, masculine paper. You can do it with holiday paper, like deers and stuff, if you want to give it as a Christmas gift. It is very versatile as a gift. Because everybody likes chocolate. Guys like chocolate. Everybody likes chocolate. Kids like chocolate. You can totally do it in a kidsy theme, which is kind of what we're going to do for the next box. So I just scored that wrong. No, I didn't. I'm going to be using some of the new DSP for this next one. Okay. Now, I like layering panels. So now I need to find some cardstock so I can do layering panels. And I'll show you on this one. For example, I use Petal Pink as my layering panel. So I'm going to grab my DSP and decide what layering panel color I want with this. We are all done with the scoreboard. We don't need that anymore. And we will be cutting and prepping these. Should I cut and prep them now? Should have had them already prepped, but yeah, I'm not really good at that. So I used to cut and angle, but what I've learned is that I really just like to do straight cuts now, and then just miter the edges, and this is probably the most boring part of this whole process. And I'm sorry, I did want to have all these prepped ahead of time, but it just didn't happen. So you guys get to see how to make this box in real time. They usually take me about an hour or so. But you know I am talking. Hour and a half-ish. Oops. See if anybody else has popped on. Sharon says, good thing I got 100 sheets of the thick white paper. Right? I'm giving you lots of different ideas on how to do this. How to use up your white paper. And you can use cardstock too, but you would need 12 by 12 cardstock. And I know a lot of people don't buy 12 by 12 cardstock. I don't know why. It's fabulous. And for those of you that don't know what Sharon's talking about is, so this 12 by 12 cardstock, it is not Stampin' Up! Cardstock. This one's 110 pound. I get it on Amazon. It sells out quite often. I'm constantly having to look because I use so much of it. But it comes in like a pack of 100. But it's super, super heavyweight, and I love to stock up on it during the holiday seasons because it's what I use for my stationery boxes and my 3D projects like this. But really, you just need a nice heavyweight cardstock. Our Stampin' Up! Cardstock will work for this project nicely as well. And it accents nicely with our DSP. Now, I don't know about other brand cardstocks. Like, I don't really, honestly, I don't buy cardstock from other people usually except for Stampin' Ups because it matches all my inks and stuff. Which I love. But for white, it's basic, and I needed something heavy. And we're just about done. And then we're going to get into the DSP, which is going to be super fun. I kind of have an idea, I think, of how I want to go with this one. I'm going to be using that cute DSP that I showed off earlier with the ladybugs and caterpillars and stuff because it's so adorbs. You know what I just realized? I'm only mitering the inside of these and I didn't miter the outsides. Gosh darn it. I was like, why am I going so quick? I'll go back and do that other piece. Now, for the lid, I am always very, very careful with this one. This one I do pay attention. I take a little bit more time because the lid is really going to be seen. So I try to be a little bit more careful and precise with that straight cut. And I'm going to show you a different way that I miter the outside edges, which you could do for the boxes too, but I really like it for the lid, because sometimes, and I'm going to show you first before I miter that outside edge what I mean. Okay, take all those little pieces out. Now before I go back and miter those, let's go ahead and grab my bone folder. See, my brain has thoughts and processes that really don't make a huge difference, but for me, they just, it's like, it'll drive me nuts kind of a thing. So I'm going to put this up, and you're going to see, let's see, if you don't get this just right when you miter or when you glue, see, I don't know if you can see, there's just a little hair, a little teeny hair that's too high there. Can you guys see that? I don't even know if that comes out on camera. It's such a tiny little hair that pops up. But that little extra piece drives me nuts. So this is how I fix this. Okay, so now we've already cut our little miter pieces. I'm going to put this in, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to, this is for the lid part, I'm going to just go a straight cut. Not going to go an angle. I'm going to go to straight cut. I don't know, maybe a 16th. Super tiny. And I'm going to cut that off. And I'm going to do that on all four sides. And like I said, I'm usually more careful with this on the lid than on the drawers, because the drawers don't get as much viewing as the lid. I don't know if that's the right term for it, but I'm going to do this on all four pieces. And then when I go to put that in, now as long as I have that there, that is not going to come up as much. Can you see that? Now it doesn't have that piece that comes up, sticking up that way. Now if you're looking at it from the corners, you can kind of tell there's a little bit there, but from the front views, you can't see anything popping back out. And it works. You just have to be very careful as well when you close it up. Sharon said, good thing, oh no, Debbie says, hi, gotta go and get the kids some dinner. We'll watch later, sorry. No worries, Debbie, love you. Tell the kids I said hi. Okay. So, I'm going to go back in. Now, these are my drawers. I'm going to just miter these normally, because it's quicker. But, could I do the same thing with these? I could. But I'm not as concerned with these. Like I said, people don't visually see these as much as they do when the lid's on. Plus, I'm going to show you how I glue these in so that you really don't see these little side pieces. But you do want to miter them. And my miter is just what I'm doing right now. Cutting off a sliver. Now, I'm a little heavy-handed on my mitering, but just bear with me. This is one of those things that I tell you guys all the time I can do almost while watching the movie or doing something else or talking to somebody. Okay, now we have all of our you guys, I lost my base. Did I just throw my base away? I don't think I did. OMG, what did I do with the base, guys? Hold, please. I moved all those pieces over there. Is this my base? Let's see, is this my correct base or is this my off-centered base? This is my off-centered base. Where is my correct base? This is my correct base? Okay, here's my correct base. Oh my goodness today, guys. Just saying. Put all that over there with my scraps. I have a huge thing like this of just these white scraps, but I used to use them. They're great. Okay. Now we have all of our base pieces. I'm choosing to do this in white. You can really do it in any color. Now let's grab the DSP. What I like about this one is the one I'm going to show you, I'm going to put ribbon around to keep it closed. And this suite comes with ribbon, which is perfect. Okay, now I have an idea. I don't want these pieces. Nope, not these. These are going to be for another project later. Okay, I really like this piece for the outside of my box because OMG, it's so cute. And if you flip it over, this side is going to be perfect for the inside of the box, which I like. Then I have to decide for my inside panel pieces. I'm thinking, oh, actually, maybe for my lid. My lid is going to have more of, see, this is a really big lid. But I kind of thinking that should be that trim on the lid is that. Do you think that would look pretty? And it'll still bring in the white because there's white flowers in here. So that will be my inside and, sorry, my inside panels, my outside panels, my outside trim. And this might even be for my drawers too. The drawer accent pieces. The other color I was thinking of, maybe, but I'm not positive yet, is because again, this is going to be the inside pieces. I think this one might be a little dark. Where was that other piece? Oh, here we go. I know, this one has some nice little cutouts. But I'm thinking that this might be nice to decorate the drawers with. And it'll accent inside nicely. So that's what I was thinking. That one or this one. I like this one too. So I haven't decided. What do you guys think? And by the accent pieces for the drawers, let me open up this one so you can kind of get a feeling. Now this one I only did on one side. But it would like maybe wrap around it. Oh, now I'm just dropping stuff. Pop that in there. What do you think? That one or that one? I think they both look cute. Oh, maybe I should do alternate. One drawer this, one drawer that, one drawer this, one drawer that. I don't know. I'll figure that out at the very end. But first things first is the panel pieces. So we're going to start with this. We put this away. So, oh, and timber, dropping stuff. I knew that was going to happen. Let's move that to a different spot. Okay, now that I'm looking at basically this, I'm thinking I want to go with, what is that, like Mossy Meadow? Because there's green on both sides. So I want to go with a paneling piece that is green because it'll match both inside and out. And I think that's Mossy Meadow. It might be garden green. Let's see. It says Balmy Blue, Blueberry Bushel, Cloud Cover, Crumb Cake, Garden Green. Ooh, Crumb Cake might work cute too. Mossy Meadow, Night of Navy, Old Olive, Pecan Pie, Pretty Peacock, and Secrecy. So Mossy Meadow. I think I want to go with Mossy Meadow. So let me go ahead and grab some Mossy Meadow cardstock. And we'll cut the panels. And the DSP. Ooh. Ooh, I almost just exploded a light. That would have been bad. So my panel pieces. And I can't remember if I need 2 or 3 pieces. I'm going to take out 2 to start with. I think I might need 3 though, but I cannot remember. I have not done this manual one in a while. I bought some dies that do this. Okay. So my panel pieces need to be 4.5 by 1 3/4. So, oh, sorry. They need to be 4 3/4 by 2. 4 3/4 by 2. 4. I'm going to cut 2 pieces at once. 4. I feel like I can't remember if I get more pieces if I do it this way or if I do it this way. I think it's this way. It's on the 11-inch side. 4 3/4. And 4. Actually, let's see how many I get out this way. I'm going to get 8. And I need 10. So I'm going to save part of that for the lid too. So now I'm cutting 2 at one time. So 2. These are at 2 inches, by the way. 4, 6, 8. And then I'm going to do one more cut at 2. I'm going to get that straight though. Now I do need to cut this one down to 4 3/4. Like so, and that's 10. So there's my panel pieces. Now I also need my solid piece. I'm going to take one, because I have 2, one of those, and I'm going to cut that to 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. That's going to be for my lid. 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. That will be to layer up on my lid. Now I have these extra pieces. I could create layering pieces for the inside of the drawers. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave this as scraps. Okay, so now I have my layering panels. Now I need my DSP panels. So now I want these to be 4.5 by 1 3/4. So I want it 4.5 tall. So I want this to be my vertical. So I'm going to make that cut first. 4.5. And I'm going to do that one more time. 4. Actually, I'm going to flip it because I want this side. And I want the cut to be the right feel of the direction. So 4.5. And then I want these to be 1 3/4. Now I'm going to try to keep these outside ones in order. So 1. Actually, I'll keep them this way. 1 3/4. 2. 3. 4. Now here is a difference. Since I have an inside panel, that last one for the inside, I'm going to make a writing panel. So I don't need to cut this one again, but I do need one more of the outside one. And let's make sure it's straight. And 5. Okay. Now I'm going to take my panels that I already cut. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I'm going to flip those over and I'm going to number them on the back. 1, and you can do 1A, 1B if you want to. 2, 3, 4, 5. Do the same thing here. Which is the back side? This is the back side. 1, 2. Nobody's gonna see these numbers. They're gonna get glued down. 3, 4, and 5. And I do take the time to do these at this point because what I want to do is keep these in order. Okay. 1. Because this will visually look prettier. Oops. Except for. Okay. 1, 2. And I'm still keeping these ones in order as well. 3, 4, 5, and the inside one so that everything matches up and just looks pretty. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this last one is going to be a writing panel. So I'm going to take some of all that scrap white paper that I had left over and cut one more. Let's see, is that going to be big enough? At 1 3/4 by 4 1/2. And that will be my 5th panel as my writing panel. So I have all those set to go. Now I need the DSP for my lid. Now I could do this one, but I'd have to really get it centered nicely for me to like it. So I think I'm just going to go with this scrap piece and just cut a piece. It's not really going to matter. I like that there's a B on here. So this one needs to be 2 by 2. I just want to make sure that B's on there. Perfect. 2. And I want my B to kind of be centered. So I'm just going to line this up with the 2 here at the bottom. So I can kind of see, if I cut it there, yeah, my B will be pretty centered. Now do I want the B to go this way? No, I actually liked it a lot exactly where it was. So 2, that's about right. 2 by 2. I do use pieces like this of paper to kind of see where my image is going to be. And then that's the piece that's going to be for my lid. Now I want this piece right here. Oops. Now I want to cut pieces for my, that is going to wrap around. Like these ones are square. For this next one that we're going to do, I'm going to do a wrap around. So I'm going to do that at, I believe, at 3/4. Sorry, guys. I need to grab my lid really quick and just make sure I'm remembering that correctly. Yeah, because that is 1 inch. So I need it to be 3/4. And I need 5 of these strips. 4 for the box and 1 for the lid. So let me look at this side. Yeah. I'm going to make sure that I can use the rest of this afterwards. So I need 5 strips at 3/4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Alrighty. I'll go ahead and put this extra DSP back in the sleeve. And I guess we're doing this for the inside boxes. So I forgot I was going to do a different DSP, but I forgot. And now that I cut the strips, I'm just going to use it. Actually, I might use this side. because it's kind of cute. We'll see. Okay, now let's start assembling. The lid will get assembled last, but I am going to glue the DSP and lid centerpiece to it, but I won't shape that till the very end. Always, guys, when you guys are doing lids, I can't stress this enough, when you're doing a 3D project, make sure that you have the rest of it assembled and put the lid on last, because usually the lid is only like an 1/8 or sometimes even a 1/16 difference, and it has to fit. It has to not fit too tight, or you won't be able to get the lid off and on easily. You also don't want them too loose, because then they'll just fly right off. And I will look at comments as soon as I glue this down, because I know I have not done that in a bit, and see if anybody news popped on or made any comments. And there we go. Nope. Looks like it's just us. Okay, we're going to get gluing. Again, I'm going to glue these all in order. How are we doing on time? 41 minutes and we're already assembling, guys. You guys, I did talk a lot in the beginning, though. I always do. Now, oh, I did this wrong. Oh, that's good. Normally, I would mark my DSP and I would glue these down next to my panel. But for time purposes, I'm going to just glue them here first. I can actually keep them lined up. So this is why we numbered them, because you see how now this visually lines up beautifully with this. But you do want to make sure the DSP panel pieces as well, one's not higher than the other by too much. And really, let me not be chintzy, you really want to get to the edges on the DSP, especially the top part, because that is what's going to get hit most with the lid, and you don't want it continually lifting. So you really want to get glue all the way to the edge, especially on the top. Like, I can't stress that enough, but on all 4 sides. And visually just lining these up. Trying to get as much to the edge. But you guys see, I'm not putting an insane amount of glue. It doesn't have to be a lot, because it will spew, but you don't want it to not be all the way to the edge. Again, visually just lining these up. That looks about right. This one looks a little off that way. Okay. Sharon says, this is a really cute project. Oh, thanks, Sharon. Yeah, I've done this a few times in the past, but like I said, we all know all my old videos are now gone forever. So I'm trying to recreate some of the ones I've done in the past, because now they're not searchable. But this one I've done upgraded versions, but I've never done as live. So I just figured I would offer it as a class now. And lining that up. And this paper, oh my gosh, this one's going to be so cute. I don't know that I'm going to give this to anybody. I think I'm just going to keep it for me. But I might have somebody I might want to give it to. Who knows? These, I love 3D projects because you can really just repurpose them a lot. Who doesn't like to get random gifts? Okay. So all those are now in beautiful order. Put those, again, keeping those in order. Same concept. We're at 1. Now this one I have to be careful with, because I just want to make sure. Yes, that's the right one. Ones like this, it's a little harder because you can't tell visually if the panel is supposed to go this way or this way. But I really want that visual effect to keep going. And for the most part, you know, I've been doing these on my lives. They don't take more than like an hour, hour and a half. And for nice 3D projects like this, that's not, I don't think that's a bad amount of time, especially if you're hand making your Christmas gifts like I do, for my family. I don't know, I kind of like it. And that's the side that lines up. And I've never had any of my family members saying, oh, she's making me something else again. I think probably mostly because I filled them with chocolate. And like I said, who doesn't love chocolate? No, I have family members that are like, what? I didn't get cards this year. One year I didn't give cards. I just gave these chocolate boxes. And some of my family members were like, where are my cards? And I'm like, my bad. So now I do a mix. And I've done this for my coworkers. I give them little baggies of cards. People really do love the handmade touch, guys. They really, really do. And there's my last one. Ooh, went all the way to the edge with that one. I should say this is my last paneled piece with a DSP. The next one's going to be the writing panel. Now, hopefully I remember, because I have done this before in the past. Do not let me glue the drawer to the writing panel. And you as well. Do not ever glue the drawer to the writing panel. I have made that mistake because all my other boxes, there's only 4 panels. And this is actually has 5 because it has the nice little writing panel. But I have accidentally glued the drawer to this panel. And it doesn't go there. It won't close if you glue it to the writing panel. So, don't laugh at me. But I am actually going to make sure I mark this right now so I don't inadvertently do that. No drawer. Because my large box and my one that I normally assemble puts the drawer on the last box. It'll make sense when I actually assemble. Okay. Now, I'm still not going to do my drawer. I'm going to put my panels in place. So my box is closing in this way. I am going to go ahead and give this a nice crisp folds. And then we're going to glue our panels. Down. There we go. Okay, and this is my inside one. My no drawer. 4, 3, 2, and 1. I can lay those down. Glue these in place. Oop, my glue is getting... So I might need to add more glue to this. Come on. Don't be finicky on me now. Okay, I think this might have... Oh, there we go. Helps if it's all the way in the holster. Okay, let me glue this panel piece down, and then I'm going to refill that with glue. There we go. A second. I have been using this a lot lately, but it feels like there's plenty of glue in there, but you know, sometimes. Okay. Why? Look, see all my indentations on my hands? I can never take that off without my silicone mat. I don't know why. See? Silicone mat, quick and easy. Okay, so I'm going to make sure it is a little bit low. I don't know why this thing loves to be full of glue, but we're going to go ahead and fill it up. You guys ever wonder if this is the kind of glue I use? You guys were ever wondering? And I buy these big giant ones and just keep refilling. Oh yeah, maybe it does need some glue. Ooh, it needed a good amount of glue. Oh, okay, that's enough. I don't normally do that on camera, so I'm glad I didn't make a bigger mess. Put the lid on this one. And that one seems clear. Okay, I think we are now back in business. Let's see if that worked. Oh yeah. So much better flow. And again, put that in there, handy dandy tweezers. Look, so. Okay, I'm going to try to go a little bit faster. And I'd say I talk a little less, but I don't know how to not talk, so it just feels weird to stop talking and have no noise going on. And that's why I'm so good at what I do for these lives, because I love to hear my own voice. Oh, comment came up. Sharon says, I buy the big bottles of glue also. Right? Do you use the same one I do, or do you use, like, I know other people use, like, there's one with a bear on it. I've never gotten that one, so I can't attest to if it's good or not good. But I've heard that one's very similar. I like this one because you still get a wiggle room, but it has a nice quick dry time as well. So kind of the best of both worlds, and it doesn't dry tacky. That for me is game changer. It cannot dry tacky. Because that for me is just anxiety waiting to happen. Okay, now this next thing. So this has to be my last drawer. So I'm going to flip this right over. This has to be my very first panel. That has to be panel number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is very important when you do this flip. Whichever one you start with, make sure that your other panel is in the correct, if it's directional, that it's in the correct direction. Sharon says, yes, art glitter glue. You have to order before winter because they won't ship it when it gets cold. You know, I've heard that, but I've never ever had an issue with getting it. So I get mine from Amazon. So maybe Amazon stockpiles it already, and we have shipping centers here in California. So I don't know. I've never had an issue with getting mine. However, I do buy them in those big giant ones, and I definitely get them before the holidays because I know I need them for the holidays, so I always buy an extra bottle. Like that one I have right now, I'm almost done with, but I already have my backup one. So I guess I've never tried to order in the winter. And in California, it's like, do we really ever have a real winter? Not usually. So, I mean, we do, but it doesn't really ever, is never an issue with us here in California. I think it might be more of an issue in locations that like actually freeze solid, like lakes freeze solid. I live by the bay and I always have waves, so. Susan says, how come? Margie says, I also get the big bottles of art glitter glue. Oh, yep, see? And Sharon says, because it will freeze. Yeah, so when things freeze, they expand. Plus, I would imagine that once something freezes, the ice crystals will change the integrity of the glue. Would be my thought process. Like I said. It doesn't really freeze here. Which I'm super glad of because I don't like to be cold. I love this season, but I don't like to be cold. Susan says, oh, didn't know that. Sharon says, I know they won't ship to Georgia. Huh, good to know. Good to know. Well, if you ever run out, Sharon, let me know, and I'll check to see if I can order it, and then I can ship it to you. And hopefully it won't freeze. Just know to keep an eye out for it and don't leave it out in the snow. Okay, last panel. And then we're going to start the drawers. The drawers are probably my least favorite part, even though it's like the whole basis of this whole thing. But I don't know. I don't like assembling drawers. Oh, I think I put that. No, might be still in the same spot. And marvelous. Look how pretty this is already looking, guys. Okay, so the only difference is, like I said, this one closes, and I kind of like the way this one closes a little bit better, the manual one, as opposed to the one that's done with dies. The only thing I like better with the die one is that it's got the cute ridges, and then I don't have to miter anything because it miters itself. But yeah. Okay, now we're doing the drawers. Grab my bone folder. Kind of addicted to this little smaller one I found because it really just nestles beautifully in my hand. And then for this one, I want to get to the edges. And I'm going to pay really close attention to lining up these edges. These edges, not all the way down. Because remember, we mitered it. So if you push it all the way down, then it'll just be a really weird shape. Just trust me on that. Oh, getting a little crazy there with the glue. Again, holding on those edges. And for those of you that took my class, are you guys liking your new bone folders? The small bone folder is so handy, right? I never even knew this thing existed, and now that I have one, I feel like I go to it all the time. I go to my long one too. Like I had ever only had my Stampin' Up! Bone folder, which I love. I have 5 of them because I use them for different things as well. But I never thought of having different size bone folders. Like my longer one is great when I'm making my stationery box and I really need to get into the taller sections. But this one, oh my gosh, it just feels like it's part of my hand. So, yeah. Kind of schmarvelous. Two more to go. And fold this over. I can hear my husband watching TV in the living room, but it's not loud enough for me to hear what he's watching, but it's loud enough that I keep hearing the music and getting distracted. And you guys, can you guys imagine? I came in here again without water. I can't find my big water jug. This is what's causing me problems lately, guys. I had this one that I got at Costco, which I loved. Like, I know everybody, all these people like these Stanley ones. They're like really big at the top and little at the bottom. I hate those things. I shouldn't say I hate them. I'm not in love with them because I don't like things that are top heavy, especially for my water. But Costco had this one, and it's like a jug. I mean, you've guys seen mine before. And so I liked it because it wasn't top heavy. And so, like, I didn't have to always worry about having it topple over. Now, it doesn't fit in any of my drink holders in my car, but that's okay, because I'll just put it on the seat right next to me. And it stayed cold for so long, and I loved it, but I haven't been to Costco lately. My husband does the Costco runs usually, especially during the holiday, because many of you guys know I suffer from like panic and anxiety, and usually during the holidays, the stores are really chaotic, and it's sensory overload for me. Like, just going through a parking lot could set me off. So I haven't gotten to go to Costco. And I'm not one of those, like, I'll order stuff from Amazon, but I'm not really like people are surprised to hear, like, even during COVID, I never had my groceries delivered. Never once have I had groceries delivered to my house like that. I think I've DoorDashed to my house maybe twice. I used to DoorDash when I worked in an area that didn't have anywhere close by. But, like, I'm not really into having things delivered to my house other than, like, Amazon stuff. Just because it's convenient. I don't have to pay shipping. But food-wise, like, I either go to the grocery store, my husband goes to the grocery store. So, yeah. There's my tangent on why I don't have water in my room. I should just bring a case of water into my room is what I should do. And just have an emergency case of water in here. Okay. Got my drawers shaped. Now, I really need to decide. Now, for sure, I know I want, for the outside, I want the red. I want that on my lid. Put that to the... Actually, let's see which one looks the cutest. They all look pretty much the same. But this one right here looks consistently, like, lengthwise. I can see more of a square there. Do you guys see what I'm seeing? So if I look at this one as opposed to this one, do you guys see how visually that strip just looks a lot nicer, a lot more centered? You can see that perfect square. So this is definitely going to be the one that's going to be for my lid. Now what I'm thinking though is for the drawers on the inside, I'm thinking I might want these pieces. What do you guys think? Because I feel like that red is too much. Or does the green get a little too lost? What do you guys think? And this is what it's going to be on the drawer. So kind of just picture it'll be like this on the drawer. Or like this. I kind of think this is cuter and more subtle. Because it's still going to pop out with candy in it. What do you guys think? Mushroom side? Or gingham side? I'm going to suck on another coffee drop while I'm waiting for somebody to tell me what color we're doing on the inside. And maybe pick up some of my things because I have stuff all over the place right now. Now I'm going to need my snips. And Susan says, I've never seen small ones. Oh, so these small ones, I got them on Amazon. They came as like a set with the big ones. And these were some of the gifties I gave for the people that took my stationery box class. Sharon says, I spent 9 hours today Christmas shopping with one of my daughters. In love. Sharon says, I like the pattern. Mushrooms. Okay, mushrooms it is. Yeah, I was thinking that too. I kind of like the mushrooms. Okay, so the trick to this is we are not going to put it on all 4 sides. We're only going to do 3 sides. And the front side of the box, I always like the front side and the back side to be the flush sides. Because I don't really want visually this to be what you see at the back of every single box. Where the feet or arms or whatever you call them come together. So I will start my piece here. And I'm just going to wrap it around, but not on all 4 sides. And I want to be able to see the hands when I start. That is my tip / trick. Now, if you're really wanting to make sure, like this one looks really cute with this one in the front, you could also start this way and pick which mushroom like you wanted at the front. Like, I think this one would look cute. Will it wrap all the way around? Yes. Okay. So I can actually start about there. Because I think I want that to be the front drawer. And that could be the side drawer. Okay. That being the case, I'm just going to snip here a little bit. So I can hold it better. And you guys know me, I love me some handy dandy mint tape. I do not always do this, but I'm going to do it for this one. Because I really like that mushroom. And I'm going to center it. And I'm going to do a little pinch here. Oop. Oh, I've never done this like this before, guys. Okay. Now, I just want to see where I was getting it started from. And I want this to be flush. Do that. I'm going to start gluing on this side. Will this be too much glue? Yeah, it will, but that's going to be okay. We're just going to snip it off. There we go. Now this one. Hold that up a little bit. So normally I just take that strip and go all the way around and then cut off, but I'm making it my life difficult at the moment because I'm the diva and I'm live, and why else wouldn't I do that? Oh man, I did this too pinchy. Oh well, I'm not gonna worry about it. No, I'm not gonna worry about these ends yet. I'm just gonna put this aside. We'll kind of let him keep trying. What do I like for this next drawer? Let's see. Ooh, I kind of like these little mushrooms. Now, will it be perfect for the side? Ooh, it might be. Ooh, that might be the perfect fit. The mushrooms just need to go over a little bit more. And again, I'm going to give that little pinch there. Put that in half so that it's straight. And line that up. Snip off the excess. And I'm sure I'll find a use for these. These are super cute. I'll find something to do with them. Okay, get that on there correctly this time. And again, I want to go pretty quick with this so that if I need to adjust it, I have some wiggle room. That looks like it's going to go on nicely for me this time. And just pinch it around. Now, you could also just cut down little squares like I did on my previous boxes. When I mass produce these, I don't usually center out images like I'm doing now. But, let's see. Ooh, I really like this one. Because we don't, oh, that's too far. Oh, this one. This one, and then that one. I want each drawer to kind of look a little different. Got a little bit of yellow in this one. Again, giving it a little pinch. Folding it over so that we make sure this is flush. Let's make sure we get a nice, good corner. There we go. And snip. So are you guys almost done with all your holiday shopping? I am still making a bunch of stuff. Normally I have more stuff made, but I am not as quite on top of my game as I usually am. I'm going to go ahead and snip this one off now. You guys see, this doesn't really take very long once you get into the groove of it. The hardest part is going to come next, and I promise you it is definitely the hardest part for me, at least. And it's getting the drawers on here lined up so that it closes. Okay, so I have the yellow, I have little mushrooms, the top mushroom. What am I missing? Oh, I'm missing that piece. Okay, that actually works nicely. Okay, and that's the front. Ooh, right about there, I think. And give it a pinch right about there. And there we go. And snip off the excess. Get to my groove. The only person I really shop for nowadays is my husband, because I don't give him handcrafty paper stuff. Mostly because he's just sick of seeing it. And my mama. Because my mom, although sometimes I give her handmade stuff, I've given her handmade stuff for so many years. She really likes cards in the mail, but she likes Christmas stuff. So sometimes I'll make her or buy her ornaments or clothes. She likes to wear really pretty clothes when she goes out, although she hardly ever goes out. She really needs no more clothes right now because she has got the closet full. I'm thinking of getting her some cute slippers this year, but I just keep changing out my mind. Okay. Now, I could fold it back this way, but I'm actually going to snip it. And I'm going to snip it because I want this back piece to be as flush as possible. So, that is why I'm snipping. So you could do either way, whichever is most convenient for you. But I'm going to do the snipping and do my best to snip as flush as possible without cutting anything I shouldn't be cutting. But you don't want any to be sticking out. You definitely want it totally flush to the edge. Like so. It should be totally flush. And the reason is that this has to now glue totally flush on the inside. Okay. We're almost done, guys. Let's see what we're doing on time. 1 hour and 13 minutes. Doing really good. Okay, so now I'm going to grab all my front pieces. Now, I definitely want this one with the tree stump at the bottom. So that one's definitely going to go there. And I want this one with the big mushroom on the top. I think mushroom, flower. I really like that imagery. So what I was telling you guys before, oh, what did I do with my image is not, oh, there we go. What I've done in the past is I've inadvertently glued here and here. Because normally what I do is I start from the first square and the last square. But I need to make sure that that square is this square. No drawer on my panel piece. So I do always start with the top square. So I'm going to glue this one. Ooh, is there, no. Put a good amount of glue on here. Because this is what's going to have to hold whatever I put in there. So if I'm putting Ghirardelli, and I'm not going to line it up with the cardstock. I'm going to line it up with the top of the box, but in between the cardstock. So very top, flush from the top. Push that down. This is where my bone folder is going to come into play. And I want my Damping Up bone folder for this one because this is nice. I want to give it a good press and it's nice and hard. It's a nice stiff bone folder. So first box and last box. Now, you always want to make sure that you have the openings on the right spot. This is the top. I have actually glued drawers in upside down before. This is why I'm making sure to remind you guys. Okay, now I'm going to go the same thing, but now flush with the bottom. Right there. Make sure that's still closing. Yes. And you don't want this to go past the bottom. It has to be totally... Son of a... Oh well, too late. I glued this strip on and I can see the back panels here. And did I do that to all of them? No, I just did it to the bottom too. Oh well, it's gonna be okay. It really is not structurally not horrible, but I can see the little, I can see that. I didn't want that. Okay. Anyways, okay, so these two are the hardest. Because you have to glue these in and they cannot overlap. So you have to space them just right so that you can close them. And for this box, there's actually a little bit more wiggle room than in some of my other boxes. My giant one, it's a really tight fit. So I'm visually just lining that up. Kind of seeing the lines this way. I don't know if that comes out on camera. Okay, that's all going to be beautiful. And great. Give that a nice firm press. And let me do this last one. With this design, it's actually the one that has the most wiggle room and spacing. My larger one, there's hardly any wiggle room there. They're so close. And that looks beautiful. Make sure it's straight. Yep. Okay, it's gonna close. Give it a nice firm press. Yeah, the only thing that's driving me nuts is I can see that panel piece there. I might fix that with some of the scraps later and put a little flush piece there. But oh my gosh, so cute. And I can take this part off. So cute. Now, I will not put Ghirardellis in these tonight. I will let this set the entire night before I try to add anything into them. Because I have made the mistake of going in and putting in chocolates in right after I've made them. And the glue is still soft and not totally hardened. And it will really affect the structure of the boxes. I tend to close them up. And once I get the lid on, I will actually store them this way so that it sets. But you see, there's not a whole lot of smushy room in there. When you embellish these, if you do decide to embellish the boxes, always embellish with paper. Do not put physical embellishments or pop anything up on these drawers because then it will not close. It is a very tight fit. Okay? Now we're going to go in and put the lid on. And this is why we saved the lid for last. Come on. Because we want it to be able to come off and on. But we don't want it to be so tight that it's going to be hard to pull off. Okay. Piece of extra DSP in there. Let's start with the side that is not popping up. There we go. Much better. Put some glue. Again, as much to the edges as I can, but not too much because some of the, I don't want the glue to spew out on the paper down here. And I'm gonna close it, but I don't want to pinch it tight. I just want to close it just so that it's on there. You kind of really just have to play around with this. Okay, that seems good. And I'm gonna repeat that process on this side. Like so. Right about there. You see I'm testing it so that I know it's not too tight, but tight enough to stay on. Beautiful. That's a nice good fit. And last but not least, I'm going to take that last strip and decorate this one. Now, this is going to be my front. So I'm going to start the strip in the back. Right. And if you want to have it a little bit overhanging, you can, because then it'll overlap at the end and it'll be super seamless. This will also just give me a little bit of something to hold on to while I'm pinching these sides. I'm going to do a soft pinch on these, not a hard pinch. This is just going to kind of help me while I'm shaping. Okay. And I'm just going to do this one segment at a time. You want to try to keep this as straight as possible and centered. You would think this is super easy, but okay, got that segment. Now I'm going to go pretty quick because I'm good at this and I'm pretty quick at this. I would not recommend everybody doing this like I did. Oh, I don't think I need that last segment with glue, but that's okay. Too late now. I'm just pretty quick at this, so I'm going to go quickly and adjust and adjust. Oh, and that part needed glue on this side. This is the part that's a little tricky. You want to make sure that these line up perfectly. See, and I got a little bit of bubbling here. It's okay, because I'm just going to pinch it out to the edge. Now here's where I can either close it off, which for this pattern is going to be perfect. I don't think I need to cut it off. I'm just going to close it off. Just adjusting a little bit here. And maybe it was good that I added glue. There we go. A little bit on my hand, but that's okay. And now, this is the front of my box. This is the front of my lid. It is all done. Now, I will say the one thing I don't like about this box is you see how this part kind of comes up? This is why I like to bring in ribbon. And I love that this... Oh, why did that fray? I didn't like that. Oh, I didn't like that at all. Oh, let's cut that off. I don't like that. Ribbon scissors. That actually might be enough for this box. Let's see. Test it out. Yeah, that'll be more than enough for this box. Okay. Sharon said, hurry, my battery's running low. Sorry, Sharon. We're almost done. And just really quickly, we'll find the pieces. Well, actually, this won't be really quickly, but it'll be kind of quickly. I will do a quicker version of it. Let's see. Okay, I think I like... Oh no, that wasn't the one I wanted. I want the seams. I can show you guys how to put the ribbon on. Oh, actually, that might work. This might work. Okay, so I need... Let's see. 4th. I need like a 2-inch punch. I have my back scratchers on here. Oh, it says my video was interrupted. Can you guys still see me? That was weird. Oh, no, now it's playing again. Okay, so let's get a circle punch. Oh, I know which one I want to use. If I can find it, yes. And let me grab some Mossy Meadow paper. Okay, guys, where is my Mossy? Haha. This is the scraps. Let's see if this is going to be, this one might be too big, but let's see. Oh, that's going to be a little too big. Okay, maybe I don't like that as much as I thought I would. Let's try. One and 7/8. I like that. That might work. This one might be too small. Let me see. Yeah, 1 7/8 is what I'm going to use. Okay. The question is, I really do like that Starburst though. That's too big. Too big, too big. Okay. 1 7/8. 4 of these. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you know, I already punched one, but I'm going to punch another one. And 4. Put all these back. So 1 3/8 fit in 1 7/8. What's one size down from 1 7/8 in punches? Would that be like 1 1/2? I feel like it might be 1 1/2. No, I don't know. I don't even know if I have a punch that's one size down from that. Where's that other one? Let me see the size. You know, I'm just going to use this as a reinforcer. We're going to stick with 1 7/8 because I like that. And because we're trying to go quickly, we're going to keep the 1 7/8. That's 1 3/4. Ooh, actually 1 3/4 will fit into 1 7/8. I think nicely. So basically now what I want is some of the scenes from here. So like this guy playing would be cute. Those guys. Oh no, maybe the butterfly. 2. I need 4. And this guy. Oh, do I want him with the snail? I totally want him with the snail. 3. And you know, maybe just the dandelions for fun. 4. Okay. So this is going to be a reinforcer. Let's go ahead and glue these on. Oh, that worked good. I just wanted a little bit of a layering piece, so these sizes worked fabulously. Now I want these pieces because I want these pieces to kind of hold my ribbon in place, because you don't want to glue the ribbon down. You want it to be able to move in the back. And this will make sense in a hot second. You still with us there, Sharon? Hey Kim, welcome, welcome. Okay. So I think these guys are going to be my back guys. And this one's going to be my front. Okay, so here's my opening. So I'm going to have these guys be my opening. I need dimensionals on these. Oh, where's my adhesive tape? Oh, there it is. Grab some dimensionals, regular dimensionals, not many dimensionals. My adhesive bag, in case anybody was wondering what that looks like. I'm going to need 2 of them for each of these. It is very important that you have one on the top and one on the bottom. One on the top, one on the bottom. Top and bottom. And top and bottom. Okay. Now, this is the front of my box. Now, the ones here at the front, I am going to tape down, but not the ones at the back. You do want your ribbon, however, to be pretty straight. Now, I can either do this with tear tape, or I can do this with another dimensional. I think I'm going to do it with tear tape. Just for security purposes. Just for security purposes. Just for having it secure. Like I said, I don't want this one to move. Because you don't want the ribbon falling off after the fact. So right there. And do it this way. Making sure it's straight. And the reason you don't want tear tape all the way around is this box is going to open and close, and you want it to be able to open and close. But you don't want the ribbon to be able to pull off and not be able to be reclosed again. Okay. Now this is my left hand side. I'm going to put my butterfly in between. Now I can really just stop with these 2, the front panel ones, and leave the other ones alone, but I really do like to be consistent on all 4 sides. So I'm going to add more little cutesies all the way around. Oops, although I think I just grabbed the ribbon on that one. There we go. And last but not least, okay guys, I just need to knot it. Oh, except for I did not look at that. This one's a little bit higher than that one. Oh, that's going to drive me nuts. Can I pull this one off? Oh, come on, come on. I didn't push you down. You should be able to come off. And I'm doing this with my ribbon scissors, which is probably a double no-no. Oh, whew. I got it off. Whew, whew, whew. Handy dandy tweezers. Let's try that again. Visually, I want to make sure that it's lined up. And really, I should have put these on with it kind of a little bit open, but okay. That's much better. Okay, now I'm pushing that down. Okay, so the mystery card raffle word for today is going to be drawer. It's going to be drawer. And I'm also going to need some glue for this, because these ones tend to fray. So they actually sell a ribbon glue that will actually, you can glue it at the ends and then it'll keep your ribbon from fraying. I'm going to try torching this later, but for now, I think this is Adorable. If you want to be in the mystery card raffle for today, the word is drawer. Actually, I want this. I'd like to go this way. Type in drawer. I still think it's funny to say the word drawer because I think of underwear drawers. I know you guys are never going to hear that now that I said that, but type in drawers if you would like to be in the mystery card raffle today. Trying to get this stuff out of the way. Oh my gosh, I just love this. So this one, as well as the large box, will be part of my class, a registration, my online only class. I'll have the registration link up by the end of the week. I need to find my raffle tickets. And start this mystery card raffle. Let's see who's still with me. Sharon said she's there. Yay! And she's first one in the raffle. Sharon Woost. And we got Susan Holloway Lamanu. And Kim Nolan. And Margene Nation Sussex. And let's see. And Sharon Vickery. Debbie Warden had to leave us, but she did say goodbye, so I'll add her in. Did I miss anybody else? Let me know. I will keep the raffle tickets out while I'm folding these ones up. Sharon Woost, Susan Holloway Lamanu, Kim Nolan, Margene Nation Sussex, Sharon Vickery, and Debbie Warden. This came out so cute. Yeah, I'm totally not getting rid of that. I'm totally keeping that because it's so cute. I might hide my candy in it for when I don't want my husband to know. You know what these make really good? It's, like I said, you don't have to just fill them up with chocolates, but you can fill them up with little trinkets, like little blingies if you're giving it to a crafter, or earrings, a little ring, some stickers if you're giving it to some little kids. I mean, they won't have so much of an appreciation for what went into them. I tend to give these things to adults. But like I said, I made that giant one I designed for my daughter for her graduation. And I think she still has it. I'm pretty darn sure she still has it. Now I want to call her and see if she still has it. But I'm pretty darn sure she does. It was in her graduation colors. And I put her jewelry in it. So. But they are great little gifties. And I love doing them with DSP that actually has like imagery like this. Can't see if anybody else has gone in. Okay, I don't think I've missed anybody. I need my transparency. Okay, we'll put that away. And these mixed up a little bit. This transparency was probably the smartest thing I ever did. Okay, we got 2. Let's see. Oh, and none. And 1 clear winner. And the winner of today's mystery card raffle is, drumroll please, Sharon Woos. Woo woo! Congratulations, Sharon. You are the winner of today's mystery card raffle. And I hope you guys liked today's project. I am absolutely in love with it. I'm actually going to open it here. And so you guys can see, like, people would open it. Sometimes you have to explain to people how to open them. This ribbon, oh my goodness. I might have to rip this ribbon off and start again. I really like this ribbon, but I don't know that it kind of frays a little bit much when you pull on it. I might have to change that out. But super cute. This paper was like the perfect for this one. Although I might want to switch this ribbon out. I might switch it out to the ribbon that came with the pear sweet, because it doesn't fray as much as you pull it. Now this ribbon, I'm kind of wanting to go back and put it here on the top as a fringe. I might actually do that, because then you wouldn't pull up on as much. And I think it really looks nice up there. Don't you think? I feel like that looks really nice as a fringe. I'm going to have to play around with that. But congratulations, Sharon. Thank you, everyone who participated and stuck with me through the live. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Tomorrow will be my normal 10 a.m. Live in the morning. I'm not exactly sure what I want to do with that one yet, but I will see you guys tomorrow at 10 a.m. Bye-bye, my divas. Ta-ta for now.